liquid crystal display. We have to discuss its working and its construction, different type of LCD. So this yesterday we already discussed the introduction about the LCD liquid crystal display. So now we have to discuss its working, different types. So we know that LCD is a passive device, which means it does not produce any light, because LCD are not self-emitting like a LED to display character images, video and animations. But internal construction of LCD simply allow the light traveling through in it in order to produce any character images and video animations. So it just allows the light travel through it. That is the difference between LED and LCD. So liquid crystal are used as a display in many modern equipments such as TV receiver, watches, mobile phones. LCD are very popular as a display unit because of the low power consumption compared to LED. This is the major advantage. So we know that matter, three state which are gases, solid and liquid, but a liquid crystal has been considered as a fourth state of matter. So crystal is a solid form, but liquid crystal material exhibit in a liquid form. So liquid crystal is considered as a fourth state matter. So LCD are classified into two types: dynamic scattering type, field effect type. So what is the dynamic scattering type? I have to discuss. In this crystal, the molecules are oriented in definite crystal pattern when unexcited. When electric field is applied to a liquid crystal, the molecules tend to disorder the state, and the liquid crystal scatter the light, So when we apply the light, the molecule tend to disturb its state, and liquid crystal scatter the light in all directions. When liquid is not activated, it is transparent. It is called transparent. When liquid is activated, the molecular turbulence causes light to scatter in all directions. When liquid is activated, molecular turbulence causes light to scatter in all directions, and the cell appear to bright. This phenomena is called dynamic scattering. Dynamic scattering type LCD produces white display on dark background. But in field effect type LCD, white background dark display on a white background. So field effect type. Construction of field effect LCD display is similar to that of dynamic scattering type. But with the exception that two polarizing optical filter are placed at the surface of each glass sheet. Two polarized optical filter placed at the glass sheet. That is the difference. Field effect type LCD produce a dark display on the white background. Construction. Field effect type LCD construction consists of two polarized filter called vertical polarized filter, horizontal polarized filter. So field effect type LCD consists of two polarized filter called vertical polarized, horizontal. These two polarized filter are placed 90 degrees angle to each other as shown in the figure. Each polarized filter are placed 90 degrees angle to each other. So there is a difference is vertical is and horizontal is 90 degrees angle to each other. Vertical polarized filter will pass only vertical polarized light, so it allows only vertical lines light. Horizontal polarized filter will passes only horizontal polarized light but blocks vertically polarized light, so it allows only horizontal. Two glass transparent electrode are aligned front and back of LCD. Two glasses. This transparent electrode is called glass 1, glass 2. Transparent electrode to glass. Two are connected front and back. These orientation of crystal molecule. The orientation of crystal molecule changes when voltage is applied between these two electrodes. So we apply the voltage between these two electrode glass. Two electrode is called glasses. Two glasses. Pneumatic liquid crystal have the property that when light passes through vertically polarized filter, crystal molecule get rotation to 90 degrees. Crystal molecule get rotation to get 90 degrees. So working of this field effect type is, if there is no voltage applied between the electrode, if there is no voltage applied between the electrode, orientation of molecule will remain at a 90 degrees, and the light passes through the vertical polarized filter is in vertically polarized light. When orientation of liquid molecule will change the vertically polarized light into horizontal polarized light. Horizontally polarized light is easily passes through the horizontal polarization filter. Thus pixel appear as a complete white. If the applied voltage between electrode large enough, the crystal molecule in the liquid crystal changes its orientation as the light passes through the vertical polarization filter is in a vertically polarized light is not changes. Then this vertical light cannot pass through horizontal filter because the horizontal polarization filter will pass only horizontal line. The pixel appear as a black. In this way the black and white image character are produced. And we have the different type of cells, transmitted cells and reflective cells. Layer of liquid crystal material sandwiched between glass transparent electrode, thickness of 20 to 20 micron. The cell is said to be transmitted when both the glass plate are transparent. The cell is called reflective type if the one glass and other one is glass and other one is so cell is said to be transmitted when both the glass plates are transparent. The cell is called reflective when one glass plate and other one is a reflective coating. So transmitter type cells, this circuit, this is a figure as shown. In this transmitter type cells, when both glass sheets are transparent, the cell is a transmitter cell. So we are applying, when it is unactivated, the light source we are giving it certain area, so that light will passes through it. When the light is passes through it, when it is activated, when LCD is activated, when light is activated, the light is diffused, scattered in all the directions. Cell will appear quite bright. So when unactivated, cell will not appear bright. That is the difference. In the reflective type cell, this is the figure of reflective type cell. Light is incident on the cell on its front surface under activated condition. Cell reflects all incident light from mirror surface, does not look bright. However, under activation, the cell become very bright due to dynamic scattering in all directions. That is the reflective type cell. So working up two type of LCD we discussed. Now also we have to explain the working of dynamic scattering type LCD. So LCD made by using a liquid crystal. Two type of liquids we have already discussed: pneumatic and cholesterol. Most popular crystal structure is pneumatic liquid crystal. So LCD already discussed that LCD structure is consist two glass sheet and and space between that glass sheet is filled with liquid crystal. Lower portion of top glass sheet and upper portion of bottom glass sheet are coated with transparent and electrical conductive coating. An electrical potential is applied between these two conducting coating. The molecule in ordinarily liquid, random in orientation. In liquid crystal, the molecule are in definite orientation. When no electric potential applied between two conductive coating, there is no movement in liquid crystal molecule. That means liquid crystal are default definite orientation. So its orientation will not change. As a result, display is black color. When electrical potential is applied between these two conductive electrode, movement of liquid crystal molecule are randomly oriented. This random orientation of liquid crystal molecule scatter light in all directions. When the liquid is not activated, it is transparent. When liquid is activated, the molecular random orientation causes light to scatter in all directions. Display appear to be bright. This phenomenon is called dynamic scattering. So this is the working of dynamic scattering type LCD. So we have to discuss the merit and demerit comparison between LCD. So list merit and demerit of LCD. So output of LCD is not visible clearly in some cases. Output of LCD not visible easily in some cases. That is the demerit. They are not very reliable. They are not reliable. Slow in the operation is very slow compared to LED. They are very sensitive to damage over voltage or over current. Major disadvantages requires a large area. They are having limited temperature range. In LCD, AC square wave drive is used. It requires internal and external light source. Merit is low power consumption, that is an advantage. Low cost, less weight. Low voltage requirement, less heat dissipation. Heat dissipation is less compared to LED. So we have to observe this too. Applications: watches, packet calculators, televisions, many applications, display system, computer, cell phone, portable instrument display. Portable instrument display. Now we have to discuss a photovoltaic cell, principle of photovoltaic cell. So it is a small topic. We have to discuss photovoltaic cell, how it is work. Solar cell, also called photovoltaic cell, in semiconductor device, which is used to convert light signal into electrical signal. It produces electrical signal when it is exposed to light. When it is exposed to light. So photovoltaic cell consists of two layer of semiconducting material, usually made of silicon, which contain no liquid, chemical or moving part. So which contain no liquid, chemical or moving part. They produce electricity as long as light shines on them. So that is the difference. They produce the light when light fall on them. Greater the intensity of light, they generate flow of electricity. Greater the flow of electricity. They require a little maintenance. So they do not pollute and they operate silently. Photovoltaic cell work on the principle of photovoltaic effect, is a process through which photovoltaic cell changes the sunlight into electricity. As the word implies, photo means light, voltaic means electricity. So simply photovoltaic means electricity from light. Photovoltaic means electricity from light. In photovoltaic is closely related to photovoltaic effect. In other case, light is observed causing excitation of electron on other charge carrier to a higher energy state. The main distinction is that photoelectric effect is now usually used when electron is ejected out of material, usually into a vacuum. Photovoltaic effect used when excited charge carrier is still contained within the material. So working a photovoltaic cell construction we discuss is individual photovoltaic cell are made of silicon semiconductor. So it is like a diode like structure, p-type and n-type silicon material. One window or hole is provided falling of sunlight at the junction. Anti-reflecting coating is used to avoid light reflected outside photovoltaic cell. So there is a two contact are used. The front is a negative and the back side is a positive electrode are used for contact. The load is connected between these two electrode. So there is a PN junction formed, and we are allowing some small light at middle PN junction, and two electrode connected to the load bulb. Working is when when light from the sun is made of photons. Depending on their wavelength, each photon contains different amount of energy. Each photon contains different amount of energy. Sunlight striking the photovoltaic cell, it absorbed by the cell. The observed light generates the electron hole pair at the junction, which moves freely in all directions. The sun striking the photovoltaic cell, it absorbed by the cell. The absorbed light generates electron hole pair at the junction, which moves freely in all directions within the cell. The free electron tend to collect at n-type semiconductor, and the hole plus in p-type semiconductor. Therefore, when external load such as electric bulb or electric motor is connected between front and back of electrode, PV cell allow the current flowing in the cell. The intensity of light is more current will produce. This is the working. So photovoltaic cells, when light fall onto it, it converts that photon energy into electrical energy. That electrical energy is connected to the load through the two electrodes which are connected between the cell. So light will glow when more light will fall. When light will not glow when light is not fall onto it. So that is the difference. So applications of it we have to discuss. Advantages, disadvantages. Advantage of photovoltaic. No need for fuel. It does not require any chemical. That is a major advantage. Sunlight is used as a source of electrical energy. So it is a clean energy. No emission of environmental pollution such as CO, carbon dioxide, COSO. So nowadays it is very much important is that pollution is a major concern nowadays. So it damaging the and many in cities lot of pollution has causing the lot of health problem. So for this purpose the solar is very much important in future, which does not require any chemical. So solar energy or a clean energy. In cities we are observing many health problem due to this one the chemicals. So it is a clean energy. No need for operators. System operation is automatic. So simple system configuration. Next is simple system configuration. System has no movable part. Maintenance is easy. Generate voltage without any bias. So here only two junctions, PN junction is connected and one window is allowing there to fall the light onto the junction, and there is a reflective coating across the cell so that whatever the energy fall into the junction will not go back out. So photon energy is which has positive and negative charge that will be collected through the contact to electrode and applied to the load. So it does not require any biasing. So disadvantage is photovoltaic generation output varies depending on weather. In rainy or cloudy day, sunlight is not available. Generation capacity drops. Installation costs are currently high. So application, they are used in satellite to recharge their battery, calculator, watch to drive agriculture pump. Today thousands of people have power their homes, business with individual solar system. So this is the photovoltaic operations. Next chapter we have to discuss the clipper. This different type of wave shaping network. We have to discuss the wave shaping network. So what is the wave shaping network? How it is using many what is the wave shaping network we have to discuss. So the wave shaping network has different type of clipper, clamper, many other circuit can be used as a wave shaping network. So whatever the input we are applying at the input, its output has been changed. Its output has been changing, called a wave shape. So its original output changes due to some circuit. So different type of wave shape. In this we have to discuss it. Clippers, first to measure a wave shaping network. So different type of clippers we have. Biased, unbiased clipper, double-ended two-level clipper, different types, biased, unbiased clipper, double-ended clipper, series and shunt clipper, series clipper and shunt clipper. So clipper is a wave shaping clipper, also called slicer. So why it is called slicer means it allows the part of input and it cut the other part, or it does not allow other parts based on our requirement. So slicer, it is also called slicer or limiter. So many names it has. Clipper, it has many names. So we discuss different types, unbiased, biased clipper, series clipper, shunt clipper. In series, diode is in series. In shunt clipper, diode is in parallel. Diode is in connected in parallel with a resistor. It's called shunt clipper. Diode connected with a shunt resistor, and we take output across a resistor is called series clipper. In series, two type, positive clipper, negative clipper. In shunt, positive and negative. These are the different types. According to orientation of diode, series diode clipper, shunt diode clipper, according to bias applied, unbiased clipper and biased clipper. According to device used, semiconductor diode clipper, transistor clipper. According to clipping of input cycle, positive clipper and negative clipper. So we have to discuss the unbiased series positive clipper. Unbiased series positive clipper. Biasing means we are giving some certain voltage to the diode at inputs and output side of diode. So by giving biasing, we can cut the part of the, we can cut the part of the voltage, not complete, sorry, half cycle. So only allows part. So unbiased means we are not giving any biasing to the circuit. So it come unbiased series positive clipper. This circuit series diode is in series with the input, is in series, resistor is in parallel. We are taking voltage across resistor load RL, resistor load RL. We are applying input at the diode at cathode, at a cathode end. So we are applying the sine wave plus Vm and minus Vm. It has positive peak as a plus Vm and negative peak or minus Vm. So this sine wave we are applying at the input side. What will happen? Consider during positive half cycle, case 1. What will happen during positive half cycle? Diode is in, when Vin is greater than 0, diode D is in reverse bias, because we are applying positive at the cathode. So diode act as a open circuit. So no current flowing through the resistor RL. Hence positive half cycle is clipped up. Positive half cycle is clipped up. So V naught equal to 0 for V in greater than 0. Next, case 2 we have to discuss is, so this is a during positive half cycle, V in greater, diode open, load current IL equal to 0, V naught also 0. During negative half cycle, observe, you have to observe is V in is less than 0, diode is forward bias and act as a closed circuit. So what will happen? IL current flowing through the load is anti-clockwise direction. Therefore entire half cycle of input is available at the output. V naught equal to Vn, for Vn is less than. So positive series clipper clips the positive half cycle of the input waveform. So it is called positive clipper, positive series. So it is called positive series clipper circuit. With this we have to end the session. Next class we have to see this is series positive clipper, and next we have to see the series negative clipper. So in series negative clipper you have to reverse this diode directions. So negative part is clipped up and positive part is allowed. Positive part is allowed. So with this we conclude the session. Next class we have to discuss positive series shunt positive clipper, shunt negative clipper. Thank you everyone.